Americans and Middle Easterners are quite different, but do we know exactly how they're different or why they're different? Well, there are many and very complicated reasons. I'll just go over a few of those. American culture is more based on individuality and personal freedoms, while Middle Eastern culture is closer to tradition and familial bond values. To understand the differences between their culture and another's, we will go more into depth about why this is. I'll go over American culture, Middle Eastern culture, and then go deeper into how they are different and compare them a little bit. Now, American culture is about individuality and personal freedoms. America was formed based on the idea that you should be able to express yourself however you want. Americans were started when the Pilgrims left England because their religious freedoms were being impaired while they were in the homeland of England. So they came to America and they began uh, practicing their religion in whatever way they saw fit. Now, freedom is synonymous with being American to Americans. The word freedom is constantly changing to address different causes and to push America agendas forward. As Eric Foner said during his presidential address to the American Historical Association at the turn of the century in 2000, he said the central term in our political vocabulary, freedom or liberty, with which it is almost always used interchangeably, is deeply embedded in the record of our history and the language of everyday life. Now, he was saying this because the word freedom itself means so much to Americans, and you can hear it all the time, such as, "This is a free country, is it not?" when used to explain why someone may be acting in a way. Now, Middle Eastern culture is very traditional and family based. Family members will live within the household for far longer than Americans do. We can see this with 26-year-old Randa Ali. She would like to move out, but doing so would be seen as resentment toward home, which is not the case. We see another 26-year-old who lives in Egypt named Hussam, who is an engineer. He also lives at home with his family and 3 siblings, and he wants to move out, but it would be seen as disrespectful, and he doesn't want to do that to his family. Not also talking about the societal implications and judgment that may come towards him. This is far more acceptable in the Middle East than it is in America, where in the Middle East it's very common to stay living at home with your family until you became the lead of the household that you created, so such as a marriage. And many people do not leave home until they are 30 or married, which is often synonymous with each other. Now, Americans differ from the Middle East partly because of religious beliefs as well. Americans are not as religious as Middle Easterners, as according to a 2017 Gallup poll, which showed that about 75% of Americans are of a Christ-based faith. Now, only 37% said that they were very religious, but still 75%. According to a CIA report that came from 2015, most every Middle Eastern country is reported to be in about the 90% range for their Islamic population. We can also see this with Saudi Arabia, which is considered to be 100% Islamic faith-based. And that is because there are extreme laws which show a representation of what the culture is like, but is nowhere near the exact same in every country. But it is punishable by death for dissenting from Islamic faith. They keep it very close to them to stay within tradition. Also, most every Middle Eastern country is ruled by Islamic law. America was founded on the idea that the church should be separate from the government. While we can see that in Middle Eastern countries this is very different, as many of them have the name of the Islamic Republic of, and then the country's name. So in summary, America and the Middle East are very different for many reasons, one of them being the core values which each society holds close to them. For the Middle East, it holds closer to tradition, and for the United States, it holds closer to the encouragement of personal belief systems. Cultures are always different from each other, but understanding why they're different is key to seeing past cultural obstacles. Thank you.